Hello 8th graders, if you are watching this video, you are probably doing the History Day project and you are getting ready to peer assess somebody else's science fair work for your final in science class. The paper that you should be looking at is the same as the one that's on your screen. If you don't have that, you need to have that in front of you so that you can follow along and take some notes as we talk. So this is the peer assessment final drafting worksheet. The first thing that I want you to understand is that this is where you're going to write your draft. You are not going to actually turn in this piece of paper as your final product. You're actually going to put your final work into Google Classroom and submit your work that way. This is just a place for you to jot your ideas, make notes, and basically get yourself ready to write your final product. Your goal for this entire assignment is to show me that you have a deep understanding of the scientific method. So even though you didn't do the science fair all semester long, you still participated in labs and you wrote procedures and we did hypotheses and predictions and all of the parts of a science fair. We've done all those parts and pieces. Now is your chance to show off whether or not you can catch errors or complement good qualities in those parts of a project. The big thing that I get as a question most of the time is am I going to be determining the grade for somebody else's project? You are absolutely not. Nobody is going to see your final product for this assignment except for me. So the person that you're grading will never know what you've written down unless you tell them. Their grade is not determined. They won't see anything that you're about to do. This is just a score for you, not for them. So the way that this is going to get graded is basically in 3 categories, and that's the rubric here in the middle of your page. They are kind of generic, and so I want to make sure that I am clear about how each of these rows is going to work for you. So I'm actually going to come back to that in just a second and show you the body of this document. There is a place for you to write your notes for each section of the person's science fair. So a statement of the problem, hypothesis, prediction, and so on, all the way through till the conclusion. For each one of these sections, you're going to be graded 3 times using these 3 parts of a rubric. So the first one is insightful commentary. Basically, I want you to be mindful of writing constructive comments. So like if you're going to write a criticism, it has to come with like a suggestion for how to make it better. It needs to be thoughtful. In other words, there shouldn't be anything that's like directly copied word for word off of my rubric. I want to see that you can connect ideas from one section of the rubric to another, and you'll see examples of that when you get the exemplar here in a little bit. And concise. Concise means short but complete. There is no extra credit for writing something really long-winded and huge. In fact, that's just going to take me longer to grade and puts me in a sour mood. If you can say the same thing shorter, you should. It should not be long on purpose. The next part is use of the rubric, and this is where the bulk of your points are going to come from. I need to see that you are giving it a score that makes sense. So I've already graded this person's science fair, and if you happen to give it a score that's different than what I gave it, that's okay. You're not going to lose points for that. But you definitely need to demonstrate a reasoning. So where it says demonstrates a thoughtful use of the rubric, and you've defended it with evidence, those are the key parts. So if you give it a 3 but I gave it a 4, and your reasoning for a 3 is because they forgot this or this wasn't as good as you thought it should be, and you talk about why, that's the kind of work that I'm looking for from you. Lastly, general requirements. This isn't worth a ton of points, but it will serve you well to fix all those red squiggly underlined words and make sure that everything is spell checked, and proofread it before you actually turn it in to make sure that your sentences are finished and your thoughts have been completed and that everything sounds okay. At this point, I need you to please jot down in this space underneath the rubric any questions that you still have so that when I come back together with you and the History Day crew, you can ask those and I can clarify that. And your next step is going to be to grade the example. Good luck.